Hi, Middles. This is just a quick video to explain to you how you need to complete this seesaw activity: purpose, audience, and context. So I'm going to take you through step by step what you need to do. So you need to click on Add Response, and then you'll select yourself, and then this template will come up. Now, if you forgot to read the instructions or you need to look at them again, if you click here on View Instructions, this is really important. So the first thing you need to do is read the poems attached: Daycare Disasters, My House, and Night. Okay, so if you click on there, you will see the poems will come up. So here's Daycare Disasters. This is a poem that we have done in our lesson, so you should be familiar with that one. Then we have My House and we have Night. I have also included here this slide here, which explains to you, in case you've forgotten, what purpose, audience, and context is. So the purpose is the reason the poem has been written, the audience is who the poem has been written for, and the context is what the poem is about or the topic of the poem. Okay, so you'll need to read these. So I'm going to show you what to do with daycare disasters. Okay, so we've read this poem in the lesson, and you might like to read that poem again. And then once you've read the poem, I would do it one at a time. Once you've read a poem, come to the template here, and you need to fill in all the boxes here. Okay, so we're doing daycare disasters. So I'm going to answer or explain what the context of the poem is. So that is describing what the poem is about in one or two sentences. And I'm going to talk about what I think the purpose of the poem is. And I'm also going to talk about the audience, so who I think this poem has been written for. So to answer these, I'm going to add a text box. Okay, so I'm going to start typing. I'm going to change this I'm going to change it to narrow. And I'm also going to move it over to the left. Okay. So I think this poem, Daycare Disasters, is about, it's about all the things that can go wrong at daycare. It's quite a funny poem, and it kind of gives you a sense of how crazy things can get during daycare. It also kind of is a little bit fun. It kind of makes you think, running a daycare would be quite stressful, but also quite fun, and there's some pretty funny stories. So the poem, describing what the poem is about in one or two sentences, I'm going to say this poem is about a mum running a daycare and all the thing, and I'm going to say, and it describes some of the crazy things that can happen at daycare. Okay. Now, this is really important. Please resize your text boxes so that they fit nicely in the space. Okay. All right, the purpose of the poem. Now, this poem has been written by a girl whose mum is running the daycare at her house, and there's lots of kids there and lots of things going wrong. If I look at my mother runs a daycare. She's so wonderful with kids, and every day when I get home, she tells me what they did. Scott put Play-Doh in his ears, then ate a huge mud pie. Mitch smeared lunch all down the walls, then rubbed some in his eye, and it goes through all the things that went wrong. My mother runs a daycare, and she says it's really cool, but secretly I'm quite relieved that I can go to school. So it's a girl talking about her mum running daycare and her kind of feeling relieved that she's not the one who has to run it, and that she's not there when all these crazy things happen. So I think the purpose of this poem is to, to kind of show how crazy it is running a daycare, but also maybe a bit how amazing her mum is for running this daycare. She's you can get the sense that this girl is proud of her mum and the work that she does. So I think the purpose, I think purpose is to tell people how amazing her mum is for running a daycare, because it's a hard job, and I guess it's kind of also explaining or describing how hard kids can be, and I guess all the things that can kind of go wrong, all the disasters that can happen. It's a hard job, and I'm going to say, and lots of disasters happen when watching little kids. Okay, so you can see here you can write as much as you like, and then once you've written everything you want to write, adjust it. Use the corner dots there. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now for the last one, the audience. Who is the intended audience of the poem? So here we need to think about this poem. Who do we think this girl actually wrote the poem for? Who is she actually talking to? I would say that the audience is probably, she's talking about her mother running a daycare. She's wonderful with kids. Every day she gets home, she tells me what they did. My mother runs a daycare. She says it's really cool, but secretly I'm quite relieved that I can go to school. I think maybe she's writing this. I think she is writing this maybe for her, I think maybe her friends and family, or maybe, yeah, I think her friends and family. She's kind of wanting to explain and describe how she feels about daycare. She's writing this for her friends and family, and I think because I'm going to say because it's quite personal, and she's talking about, and she's describing how she is glad that she gets to go to school. All right, and then we'll make this fit in here. Pop that in there. Okay, and then we are done. So you guys then need to do the same, but for the poems My House and Night.